Dear friends, this is a great and wonderful and satisfying day for me personally, because this, as I indicated with Martin, this has been a long time coming. We would have expected to be at this juncture in the development of the Bahamas Technical and Vocational Institute my 2 years now, well on our way to enhancing and improving and upgrading that facility, very important and necessary facility. And it was our anticipation as government that we would be well on our way to doing so, which is why in the fall of 2018 we introduced tuition-free education at BTVI. We had to go along with that because we had already had the plans for it. It was already financially configured, but BTVI was lagging in its national and infrastructural institutional development. We are here today and we are very grateful. I'm very, very proud of this moment, and I am more than grateful to the Caribbean Development Bank and Dr. Baptiste, Ms. Clarendon, for facilitating, having the patience with us here in the Bahamas, and finally getting it. I have been an impassioned proponent of the professional augmentation of the workers of our country. Expanding technical vocational education is indeed one of the top priorities of the Ministry of Education, and not only expanding it in terms of its offerings, but upgrading the esteem with which it is held in our society. You and I know, certainly I can speak to having grown up in a time when we were condemned. If you were not academic, then go and learn a skill, which was and is an insult to the vocational integrity of humankind. Let me again, pause, my parliamentary colleague, Senator Dotson. Pleasure and welcome you this morning. And today, we find that this sense of value and profile is now expanding, growing in the Bahamian society, and it could not come at a better time. I tell the story all the time of having stood in line at the Caribbean in the days, it was CIBC, bank on the corner of Bay Street and Okra Hill. And I was offended that I had to wait so long while a gentleman dressed like, in my estimation, a miscreant stood at the teller, and he was dumping his money on the counter, coins and cash. And I went to the teller afterwards and said that you all should have a special place for those kinds of people. This was decades ago. She said, well, sir, that man just deposited some $10,000, and he is a fisherman. I was walking in there as a teacher from St. Augustine's with my little $220 a week, all professionally garbed, while he was, according to me, not nearly worthy of being in this environment. A fisherman, and this is back in the 70s. And during my inaugural year as minister, I declared that this government is committed to increasing its investment in the technical, vocational, and educational apparatus of this country. And today is a manifestation of that. And once again, we owe much gratitude to the Caribbean Development Bank, but also to the board led by Mr. Kevin Baston and his team, members who are here this morning, as well as to the administration led by Dr. Robertson, whose members are here this morning and who deserve, they both and their teams, a rousing round of applause. We in the Bahamas could not make a more propitious and significant investment in the education of our children than what we are doing today, because this empowers our nations to become self-sufficient, sustainable, and globally competitive. It sets the foundation on which the 21st century industries will develop, and will help to generate a lucrative economy. Technically skilled individuals can never be classified as unemployed, for within their hands lie the brilliant techniques of creativity and industry. Just last week, I was reading a Forbes magazine, and it indicated that in the United States of America today, there is a 7.5 million job shortage of skilled workers. 7.5 million today. And that is expected to grow exponentially within the next 12 years if something isn't done critically in the US. So technically skilled workers are in tremendous demand. In the first few months of my being the Minister of Education, I sat with the Honorary Consul from Germany. And he said that we in the Bahamas are missing a very great opportunity. What do you mean, sir? He said, I suggest to you that you implement a dual education program that we have in Germany. What is that, sir? He says, 50 years ago, we recognized that with our aging population, we are going to have a critical shortage of technicians. So what they did was to begin a program where 11th and 12th graders, I'm using our denominations, 11th and 12th graders would spend 3 or 4 days in the classroom and go 2 or 3 days in industry. And it took them decades to get the industry to come along, but eventually they did. And today, Germany is a model of a dual education program. And I am happy to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, that Dr. Robertson and his team and Kevin Baston and their teams have instituted a dual education program at BTVI. They are ahead of us in great respects, where I think 12th or 11th and 12th grade students in high school now can also take courses at BTVI, so that when they graduate from high school, they are already semi-skilled. And they are on their way to other great and wonderful things I'm sure that you would have heard about here in this conference. This day and time in our country dictates that general education almost becomes secondary when one considers the demand for vocationally skilled workers. We must plant in the consciousness of our people the urgency of inviting and encouraging their children to pursue this type of training. I use my daughter as an example. Daughter number 4 wanted to do massage therapy. I said, child, I don't have money to pay for no hobby. If you want to do massage therapy, go to BTVI. There's a 3-month course. Go to university and learn a skill where you could earn a job. You could earn a salary. She insisted. I relented. Today, she has a bachelor's degree in massage therapy or whatever you call it. I looked at the courses. They required chemistry, physics, physiology, anatomy, yoga, and a whole host of other things. She is now a manager in the U.S., making twice as what the executive minister of education is making, as a proof that this skill is in phenomenal demand. And not only that, she fends off job offers all the time from all over the world because of the great demand and continuing demand for skills of this nature. So we must plant in our people that if our children are interested in being whatever, encourage them to do so, because that is one, their appetite, that is their orientation, their aspiration, but it is also a gift that will make way for them. I emphatically concur with former U.S. presidential candidate Hillary Clinton, who verbally stressed the need to see more technical education in high schools and in community colleges, real apprenticeships to prepare young people for the jobs of the future. Not the jobs of the future, the jobs of today. We are in need now, as Dr. Fitzgerald talked about, the skilled workers that we need right now. I've been looking for a plumber now for some time. In fact, I am about to enroll in BTVI, so I don't have to be deprived, as I have been suffering for the last month and a half, to fix a leaking whatever in my house. My friends, this transmission of knowledge and skill would not at all be possible without the necessary physical and financial infrastructures, modernized facilities and tools, and adept human resources. It is anticipated that this enhancement project would have a transformative impact on the Bahamas and the BTVI, and bringing with it revolutionary upgrades for labs, equipment, and training, with one sole mission, and that is to equip a generation of first-rate technical experts. The consummation of this initiative is heavily dependent on the level of synergism from each party involved. Failure is bound to be the end when teamwork is not encouraged. And I implore members of the management teams, of our collaborators, to embrace the positive change and the constructive feedback and assessments that will naturally occur. We must realize what we are about. We must know what the master plan is, what the short-term, long-term goals and objectives are. We must act with urgency to accomplish these goals, because I am advised, Doctor, that in the last year and a half, BTVI has seen a 30% increase in its enrollment. 30%. And many of those who are coming, in addition to young people, of course, are folks like me who want to upgrade their skills and also to seek opportunities and potential for second career. Because now they realize that these white-collar jobs are not necessarily cutting it, where they have to be on the job 15 hours a day to make decent wages. So I'm happy to be with you this morning and to congratulate you, Dr. Baptiste, Ms. Clarendon, to congratulate our permanent secretary and the leadership of our team, the Ministry of Education. I'm proud of Mr. Baston and his teams, proud of Dr. Robertson and his team in getting this done and bringing us to where we are today. We are going to be working with dispatch. There's going to be an accelerated pathway going forward so that we can capture the unmet demand for technical and vocational careers in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. God bless you. Thank you. And God bless the Commonwealth of the Bahamas.
Thank you so much, Minister, for those words, for the support, and for acknowledging the importance of the area and of BTVI.